Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of my upgrade series. Thank you so much for joining again, and for those who are new, I'm sure if you can go through my videos, you'll see that we've been building a custom home for the last year. We're almost at the end, and I just really wanted to document this journey for others who are possibly building a semi-custom home, and give you some tips and tricks on design, on building, and this is more of a personal experience for me. So thanks so much for joining, and I hope you'll continue joining us on each episode. So like I said, this is episode 2. We're going to continue along with our upgrade selection. Now we're moving into the interior of the home. And like I said, there just is a long list of upgrades. So I've had to split this up into 3 different episodes. So the first episode, make sure you watch that one. It was about the exterior upgrades that we had selected. A lot of people had some great comments and questions about some of the upgrades that we have selected. So like the other, we're going into the interior. Make sure if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave me a comment below. Love hearing from you guys, or you can even private message me and I can answer as best as I can. So just to remind everybody how we did the pricing for each upgrade, we had $1 sign, $2 sign, 3 and 4. So $1 to $4 signs, 1 being minimal cost, 2 being, pretty average cost when it comes to upgrades. And the first 2 are pretty doable. They're not extravagant expense. And then when you're getting into the $3 sign level, you're looking at a moderate amount, moderate to high, I would say. So again, taking into account if it's something that you really need or want. And then $4 signs, which is obviously the most expensive upgrade. This is again another one like the $3 sign that you have to want to need, or and it's on your must list that we discussed the last episode. So let's start applying those levels to each of the upgrades that we have. So the first upgrade we're going to talk about is lighting. Oh goodness. Okay, so this was one that took me by surprise. I didn't realize it was going to be pretty expensive. I'm going to give this $3 signs. And some of those lightings were the strip lighting in the kitchen, and then of course the light fixtures, chandeliers, and then the pot lights through the home. So we did have an allowance for the lighting itself. In general, we went above that allowance. And I think I discussed the pot light situation as well. We did have to add some extra pot lights to certain spaces because we found out walking through that it just wasn't sufficient. So with lighting, I know a lot of people would think that, okay, you know what, I'll just get standard everything, and then I will switch it over after we close. That way I'm saving money. Certainly that is a great point. You're not getting charged that surcharge that I had mentioned to you guys from the builder, my last episode. Also, you could possibly go on your own and find lower cost items versus perhaps what the builder is providing, or the supplier that the builder is providing for you. The other thing is, then you got to think about, if you can do it on your own, great, but you also, for some of these items, have to have an electrician. Some of them are pretty extravagant in the sense of just the wires and the weight. Some of our ceiling heights are pretty high. So we had to take all that into account, and we just said, you know what, let's just do what we like and not having to worry about bringing somebody else in to install them. We're certainly not handy when it comes to electric. We've had our try a couple times in our current home, and it was a no-go. So this was things that we kept in mind. Now, a few of those pieces, if you haven't seen my lighting video, make sure you check it out. I talked about pretty much every piece and the different spaces in our home. and talked about what they actually look like and all the details surrounding it. Some of those items that we chose were custom, so of course those are going to be a little bit more expensive. And then some other ones we had to get, large enough so that it fills the space appropriately. You don't want to get, a pretty small fixture for a high ceiling area. That's just gonna look ridiculous. So again, some of these things drive up the price, right? So that was something to keep in mind, but this was a pretty big expense, which was a surprise for this one. The second upgrade I wanted to talk about was our countertops. If you watched my video, both videos actually, on the kitchen design and also the custom cabinetry, I talked about all the different surfaces that we had selected, whether it was quartz or quartzite or porcelain. Make sure you check those two videos out. And I got a lot of great comments there for that. But yeah, so I would give this one $3 again. Countertops can drive up really, really fast. Again, depending on what, what kind of stone that you are going with. Definitely the kitchen countertops with the backsplash drove up the price for us. We chose, as you know, a quartzite, which is more on a higher end, expensive, level when it comes to stone. It's, pretty similar to marble and granite in price. And not the most economical, but it's durable and beautiful. The waterfall edge that we did in the kitchen for the island, that was a pretty penny. And then doing a mitered edge was pretty costly as well, just so that we can have a nice profile when you're standing in front of the kitchen for the thickness of the actual stone. And then when you add the fact that there's 6 bathrooms with countertops, there's the bar, there's the kitchen, of course, there's the outdoor kitchen, and then the backsplash, particularly the kitchen, it's going to affect the price. We did try to keep, like the kids' bathrooms and, the pool bathroom, pool laundry room, those areas we try to keep just simple and be pretty cost effective, because they're gonna take a hit, I think, in those areas, and I don't wanna choose something that's so luxurious that, later on I'll regret having spent so much money there. So we did go just, regular quartz there. We are super happy with all of our selection, but this was another one that was pretty high in cost. The third upgrade that I wanted to talk about was paint. I would say a lot of people might be quite costly. For us, it wasn't. I'm gonna give this $1 sign. It was pretty low in cost for us. As you know, I had discussed, make sure you watch my paint video. That was a pretty popular video with everybody. I did give some great tips there, so make sure you check it out. But like I had mentioned in that video, I kept the house, all the walls, the trim, the doors, the ceiling, all the same color, which made a huge difference, of course, in price, because a lot of people like to do different, colors or perhaps more accent walls. We didn't go that route. I did end up in the end doing 2 accent walls, one in my daughter and one in my son's room, just to give it a little bit more character for them. The other couple things that we had to pay extra for was I did 2, maybe actually 3 doors that were black within the house. So you'll see that once I show you my empty house tour, which ones they are, but they, looking at it now, it looks awesome. I'm so happy that we did that, just to give it a little bit more character, because our house is pretty light in its features, other than, of course, the kitchen. So that's why it was only $1 sign. Next up, flooring. And then within that umbrella, I would say flooring, tile, included in that. So this was a big one. It was $3 signs. I think most people, this is kind of where they spend a lot of their money, is flooring. I personally am scarred from my current home of ripping out the tile, putting in new floors. It was a horrendous experience to live through the dust, the noise, I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that again. So let's just put in what we want to put in from the beginning and be done with it. You'll hear that a lot from me. I think we went through so much renovations in our current home that I think both of us were just like PTSD from renos, and we just wanted to have most of the items in, minus, you know, minor stuff that we can do that is not going to really affect our daily living. So, but yeah, we spent a pretty penny on this. We did hardwood flooring all throughout the main floor and all throughout the second floor upstairs. Of course, minus the bathrooms and some of the areas like the mudroom that have tile in it. So, but yeah, so that was quite a large space to fill with hardwood. Our stairs are fully hardwood as well, with the tread and the backing of it. So a lot of people don't do that, but we ended up doing that. And then also the planks itself for the hardwood was quite large. So it's a 7.5 inch plank. So the bigger the plank is, of course, the harder it is to work with. So we had to pay some extra for that. We also had to pay extra to nail and glue the planks down in order to preserve our warranty with the manufacturer. So these are some of the things that, of course, drove up the cost. The other thing was the tiles. So some of the tiles that I had selected are honed, which means they're almost like a matte finish on it, so there's no slippage. That's also extra. And then, of course, I did choose a lot of bigger pieces, so those are hard with labor, so that drives up the price. And also my son's bathroom is a geometric shaped tile, that's extra. And you know, you're looking at 6 bathrooms, you're looking at a mudroom, you're looking at you know, 2 laundry rooms. You know, it adds up. Those are large spaces when you put it all together, right? So it does end up adding up quite a bit. But again, we're so happy with our selection, and I'm thanking my lucky stars that I do not have to rip anything out and have to live through yet another reno. And then also wanted to mention that the basement is carpet. We don't have that in our current home. We put luxury vinyl down, and we thought it was too cool, especially in the winter times. It just wasn't cozy like we wanted. So that's one area that actually saved us quite a bit, that we just kept it carpet. We did upgrade the padding underneath of it. The carpet itself is, you know, the allowance that we had with it was already pretty good level, so we just kept it the same. And then take into account also, you know, showers, the stand-up showers. We have a couple of those that, you know, required tiles. So it all just adds up, right? But we're really happy with our selection for this one. The next one is niches. So this one, I was trying to be a little bit smart because I figure some of the bathrooms don't really need niches. And by the way, if anybody doesn't know what a niche is, it's a built-in, you know, compartment within the shower wall that will allow you to put your shampoo, conditioner, soap, whatever it is. So you don't have to put it on the edge of the shower. You know, I've had those flop over and spill everywhere, or you don't have to have those hanging shower racks to put all your items in, and that's put pressure on in our current home, that's put pressure on our shower head. So it's just a nice, clean look, very custom. So, but it is super expensive. So this one, I'm gonna give $2 for. So we did that for our primary bathroom and the 2 kids' bathrooms. And then we decided to do for the guest bedroom upstairs and the basement bathroom, just to do glass you know, inserts to be able to put the shampoos and conditioners there. So that was a little bit, you know, more economical than the actual niche. So, and then everywhere else, which is really left is the pool bathroom is an insert. It's a acrylic insert, so we didn't need anything there. But yeah, so this one was $2, but I'm happy we did it. Okay, the next upgrade is our office doors. So I didn't know that when you are building and you have an office, mainly on your main floor, I guess, it's just an opening. There's no doors or there's no, way to close that area off. I actually watched a few empty house tours on YouTube and found most people just left it open, their office. There was no doors or anything, which I'm a little shocked about. I thought, well, don't you need some privacy to do your work? A lot of people are working from home these days, and having kids with the noise, it'd be nice to have that, closure. So, with noise level or even just sight lines. So this was an upgrade, which you think it would be, it would just be, what it is because it's a room. Oh no, it was an upgrade. And I'm gonna give this $2 signs and it was an average. I mean, it wasn't anything, it wasn't a huge expense, but for the fact that I thought it would just be, a known fact that somebody wants a door on their office, I was a little shocked. So $2 signs for that, but there's no way I'm leaving that office open. The noise level itself would drive my husband crazy. So this was a must for us to do. So the next upgrade I was going to talk about was the fireplaces. I'm going to give this $2 signs, which is again an average cost. We have 3 fireplaces in total, one in the great room, one in the outdoor living space, and one in the basement. Where we actually saved money, hopefully that we didn't end up going to the third dollar sign, was that we chose to do an electric fireplace in the basement. And if you watched my custom cabinetry video, make sure you check it out. I talked about why we ended up going that route. One was the TV size. If we did a gas, it could possibly cause damage to that large television. There's not much space for protection. And then another reason was cost. So we did save money on that. I hope I don't kick myself because I really like my gas fireplaces, but oh well. And then the 2 in the outdoor living space and the great room are gas. So, and for lack of a better term, the standard was ugly. So I did upgrade those 2, and that's where it takes it to the $2 signs. Okay, I saved the most expensive for last, appliances. If you watched my appliance video, make sure you check it out. I keep plugging my videos, but it's a nice continuous kind of series so that you are in the know of what I have talked about before. But you know that this was a hefty cost for us. This is technically not an upgrade, but I had to actually include it because it is a large sum that we paid for. So it's not like it wasn't, included in the price. It was just a factor that we had to put into the price. So I'm going to give this $4 signs. But what I want everyone to keep in mind is the amount of, appliances that we actually have. We have technically, 2.5 kitchens that we are supplying for. So we had all the outdoor appliances, we had the kitchen appliances, and then we had the prep kitchen appliances as well, minus a stove really. And then you're looking at 2 laundry rooms and some of the bar as well. I was gonna say bar fridges, we had a couple of those as well. So if you take into account all of those things, oh, I forgot like the coffee, the built-in coffee maker and the built-in microwave, all that stuff. I mean, it makes sense why it's at $4 signs, but no matter what, it is a big eye opener for us. We were pretty shocked to see the cost there, but appliances are one of those things you can't cheap out on, and you have to make sure you get what you like because you're not going to change it every 2 years, hopefully. But that concludes this episode. So make sure you catch me on the 3rd and final episode of this upgrade series, where I'll just finish off with the rest of the upgrades that I had. And I've had to, like I mentioned, to split them off because then we're looking at an hour to 2 hour video and nobody has time for that. So make sure you catch the one that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thanks guys, as always, for supporting. I really appreciate it. I've had so much fun doing this series. It's been an outlet for me, and I would like to continue, doing some sort of design series as we go with the house, because there's a lot to do in the house when it comes to just the interior design aspect of it. So thanks for everything. But I just wanted to let you know, we did have a update on our closing date. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to make our closing date, which was a big bummer for us. As you know, we've already sold our home, and our closing date for both homes are pretty close together. I think there's like a 4-day gap or a 4-day bridge, I should say, that we had to get into the new house and then, hand over our current home. So I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to not let it get to me. It's hard because, with 2 kids, working nights, my husband's crazy schedule, it's tough to coordinate now a different, approach here. Finding a new place to live until we figure out when we can close, and then moving our stuff. Where do we move it to? Is it going to be a storage or not? Our moving company is being really supportive to be flexible with all these changes, right? So it might be like a last minute decision that we're going to get in and then we're not going to get in. So, and for those of you who are wondering why we're delayed, well, the city. With the pandemic, the city is still backed up, still trying to catch up with the different projects. We're waiting on getting our gas line from the house into the outdoor and getting a gas meter. And apparently that's taking quite a long time. So not a very good thing to hear. Kind of bursted my bubble, to be honest. I was super excited. I was getting into the mode of, okay, we're countdown now, 4 weeks. But, the realities of building. Remember the top 5 pros and cons of building versus buying. This was one of them, right? I had mentioned was a possibility of not closing on time. And there you go. We're experiencing that right now. But make sure you, subscribe to my channel and keep up with us. Press that like button, smash the notification button so that you can keep up with the craziness that is our life right now. And catch me on my Instagram handle, Massa Loves Designs, where I'm constantly putting up updates on what's going on with the house and, of course, design topics and building topics and all that fun stuff. So make sure you tune in for the next episode, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.